Okay, here's 7.3, linear combinations. This is the first example. As always, the first ones are very easy, and then we'll get a little bit harder right now. I wrote down these two problems, these two equations. Notice that all the x's and the y's are on one side. They're lined up so that you can easily combine them. The number without a variable is on the other side. In this case, negative x and x is equal to 0. 2y and 6y gives me 8y. Negative 8 and negative 16 gives me a negative 24. If I want to isolate the variable y, I divide by 8. Divide both sides by 8. This cancels out, of course, and becomes 1, where y is equal to a negative 3. Well, now I've just found the answer, the solution for my y, but I also need to know what my x is in order to complete this problem completely. So what I do now is I substitute this answer or this solution for y into this y or this y. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to take the top one right now. Okay, and now we go 6 times the negative 3, y and negative 3. Well, basically, if you notice that I brought this formula down here, I took this y here and replaced it by this negative 3 and wrote it right in here. So you see our train of thought. And now what you do is you go x minus 24 is equal to negative 16 plus 24 in order to isolate the variable x, plus 24 okay, for you smarty pants out there, you guys may have noticed that I multiplied incorrectly, that my answer is not 24, it should be 18. Okay, 18, and that's a math error. So let's go over here, fix that right now. 6 times 3 is a negative 18, plus 18, plus 18, and x is equal to 2. So in this case, the place of intersection, or the solution of this combination is 2, comma, negative 3. This is the place where these two lines, line A and line B, intersect, is where they cross. And that's what we mean by linear combination, when we're trying to figure out where two linear systems meet. Now, I like to call linear combination as the play with math section. In this case, remember, I'm combining these two, which I need to figure out how to get rid of these. And the easiest one I know I can get rid of, how I can get rid of either of my x's or my y's, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that one. So in this case, the easiest way to get rid of it is to multiply my negative 4 by 2, which will give me a negative 8, and that'll give me a 0 for my y's. But I can't just do that for 1, so I'm going to multiply everything by 2 up here. Okay? And that gives me 5x. Sorry, I made a math error all of a sudden again real fast. It gives me 10x. So it's 10x minus 8y is equal to 6. I bring this line down over here because I want to keep continuity of things. 2x plus 8y is equal to a negative 2. And then we just combine them now. Well, that gives us here 12x plus 0 is equal to 4. And then now I have to divide this side by 12 in order to get rid of the 12 and get the x by itself. Divide this side by 12. Okay, the 12s cancel out. Leaves me x is equal to 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 12 3 times, and x is equal to 1/3. Once again, I found my x. Now I need to find my y. And I just got to plug in this 1/3 into either this x or this x in order to find my solution of my two lines. So I quickly rewrote the equation from the top. It said 5x, which now x is, in this case, been converted into 1/3 minus 4y. Let me put a little line here so I could avoid any confusion, is equal to 3. This becomes 15/3 minus 4y is equal to 3. 15/3 can easily be reduced to 5 minus 4y is equal to 3. Notice I didn't skip any steps or didn't do anything in my head. Minus 5 minus 5 minus 4y is equal to a negative 2. And I divide a negative 4 on this side and divide a negative 4 on this side, which should give me a positive number. Y is equal to 2 over 4 positive, which 2 over 4 can be reduced to 1/2. And so my answer for y is 1/2. Therefore, the system of solutions, or the system of this solution, the solution of this system is 1/3 is x. Oops, I don't need to write the x down there. All I have to do is make sure that I put a comma there. And so it becomes 1/3 comma 1/2. This is a place where these two lines intersect. Okay, this is the final and most difficult of these. Notice that in this case that the numbers and the letters are on the same size, but we haven't made the numbers completely isolated. This is a U. Actually, they're not on the same side. We need to make them all on the same side. So first thing, let me work on this one. Let me change it into, let me move this 4v to the other side, which makes it a negative 4v plus 2u is equal to 8. And let me move this u to the other side, which makes this whole thing is now equal to 3v minus 5u is equal to negative 13. Okay, so my v's are lined up, my u's are lined up, and I can't find a number that'll multiply them out evenly. So I'm going to rewrite this so it's a little bit more clear to all of you. Okay, once again, I just rewrote it so that it's more clear. Let me just put a wiggly line that these two here ended up down here. Recopied nicely and neat. I can't multiply, I can't figure out which numbers to multiply in order to get rid of my v's or my u's. So I'm going to do a little trick here, a little algebra trick where I multiply this by this number down here, which will give me a negative 12. And I multiply this by this number up here, except I'm going to use the opposite sign of one of these because I want to make sure I don't get the same symbol. Because if I did a negative 4 down here, then I ended up with a negative 12 on top and a negative 12 on the bottom, and that's not going to help me any. So I'm just going to use a 4, all positive integers in this case. As I use these positive integers, I use the distributive property to multiply every number by these numbers in here. And okay, I just distributed all those numbers from up here. 3 times 4 is negative 12. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20u. 4 times negative 13 is a negative 52. Notice that my v's will cancel out and give me a 0. And this is going to give me a negative 14u is equal to a negative 28, because remember you subtract the two numbers and you give the number of the larger sign, divided by a negative 14, divided by a negative 14, and this gives me u is equal to a positive, because divided by negative gives me a positive 2. Now, the rest of this is just simple. We take our u and we reinstall it. I'm going to use my red arrows now. We reinstall it to this one or this one in order to find what my v is. In this case, negative 4v plus 2 times 2 is equal to 8. And then this becomes negative 4v plus 4 is equal to 8. Minus 4 minus 4. Negative 4v is equal to 4 divided by negative 4 divided by negative 4. V is equal to a negative 1. So my system is right here and right here, where my u is equal to 2, comma, negative 1, and that is the solution. This was a little bit more complicated because you had to do this funny little trick up here where you had to multiply the one number from here and the other number came from there, and then you had to make sure that one was negative and one was not negative. The answer one was not going to be negative, so you could have them cancel out. Hope this helps. This is a long video. Sorry about that, but a complicated subject.